Do you find
completely.
it unattractive if a guy has a high body count?
What was that?
Do you find it unattractive if a guy has a high body count, or like that they're like sleeping all around kind of thing?
I think if they're currently sleeping all around, I would find that unattractive. But if they had a high body count in the past, no. Personally.
So Brian, do you think it's girls with the high body counts, they can't redeem themselves? Like
What
they're
do you mean
they're
by
just
redeem
done?
themselves?
Like, you know what I mean? Like how you prefer a virgin, but would you go for a girl that has a high body count but no longer is like that? Like, like there's no redeeming that.
You can't unfuck anyone.
Yes, very facts. That's what I'm saying. Is she unredeemable? Like, you can't just you will never
No,
be like.
she's not.
What's
I'm
a
asking
high
Brian.
body count? Like, what's high?
Depends on her age, but
I mean, anything above, it depends. You mean on a personal level or in general?
How old are you guys?
Or both.
29.
35.
What's a
I think
high-
these days, it's very common for girls to have like 20 plus.
Yeah.
20, 30, 40.
But for me,
Shit, they do that in their first freshman.
But for me, if there's ever been any hookups in the past or one night stands, it's automatically disqualified.
You think that's
And
happening?
any
for LA?
anything outside of
Let's
relationships,
let Jake finish.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
let him finish.
anything outside of relationships, that would be an automatic disqualification.
But you count those, right?
What do you mean?
Like, you count everybody you had sex with, like the
Who
one
I
night
have, or the
stands?
other, or the other person?
No, everyone is counting, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying with the woman, if I was dating a girl and she'd had like one night stands and all of that, I
Right,
just
right,
would
right.
never go for it.
Right.
But if she'd had a few boyfriends and they'd lasted a few years and she'd had sex with them, it wouldn't be that much of a problem. But ideally,
Right.
a virgin.
Have you ever had a one night stand?
What does that matter?
Just
Oh,
just curious if you're okay with answering.
It doesn't even matter. Even if I did answer you, it wouldn't even matter.
Answer is yes.
I'm curious because I wonder if like why would it be okay if you've had one night stand to care if another woman has?
Well, because let me ask you this: why is it okay for you to want a man who's over 6 foot tall if you're not over 6 foot tall?
What?
It's a pretty simple question. I mean,
pretty simple,
Like,
yeah.
why is it okay for you to want a man to pay for the first date if you're not going to pay for the first
I
date?
don't want any of those things.
So, what do you want in a man? Tell me some of the features.
Man, I don't know.
Do you want him to have long,
Wait, you just
long
said,
hair
you just
and
said
tits?
submissive. You said you're submissive, right?
Oh, so I want them to be dominant.
Right.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
then why is it fair for you to want dominance in the man, but you're not dominant yourself? You're saying in
Yeah,
order for Jake
guess
to
that makes sense.
in order for Jake
I
to
wasn't saying it's
hold on.
wrong. I was just curious.
In order for Jake to desire a woman who's not had a one night stand, it doesn't compute that he, like, just because he desires something in a partner doesn't mean that he has to meet that criteria.
That makes sense.
Otherwise, because there's asymmetry in what men and women like.
Yeah.
Why are you making that face, Darkavia? Whoa, what, you disagree?
I don't know.
No.
It just blows my mind how men work, bro. Like, why y'all exist? Oh my god, y'all stressing me out. That's
That was coherent. But no, but it's just like, and this is one of our questions here in the questionnaire, but like, there's not symmetry between what men want and what women want, and I don't think you need to possess a trait in order to desire it. So you're not dominant, but you want a dominant guy. I'm not submissive. I want a submissive woman. Maybe Jake had a one night stand. He wants a woman who's had no promiscuity in her past. I don't think that's hypocritical. I don't think there's any issue with that. Women want all kinds of things in men that they don't possess. Every girl here would probably date a professional athlete. Are any of you professional athletes? No. Would any of you here, who here would date a billionaire? Are any of you billionaires? No. I don't think you need to possess the trait that you desire in a partner to want it. It doesn't make you a hypocrite. You can be a broke woman and want a rich man. Doesn't make you a hypocrite. Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
That's just naturally attractive when it comes to female promiscuity. Women who are not promiscuous, low body count, that's attractive to men.
I
yeah,
agree.
and like I'm happy to take on the duty and the burden of being a provider, but then I would never expect that out of my wife. You know, never expect that. And it is a big, large duty, but you just never expect that in return.
Mhm.
But I would expect them to be chaste.
What would you recommend to a woman that has had like a promiscuous past to become a more high quality woman? Since they can't like fully
Make it-
redeem themselves, what would you recommend?
Do you want to take this first, Jake?
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it.
I'll go after.
I would say that there are other things. Obviously, promiscuity and your past is one factor. And there are other things that you can seriously bring to a man's life. And there are going to be men who don't care as much about it. For me, it's just something that's really important. But if you can... The reason why I asked that question before was the thing that I was getting to when we were asking about what you guys would do at the job interview for the high status man, is because there are a few things I always find it interesting to see girls' answers that you can do, that you can provide to a man that most women would never even really think about. And it's like, if you look at a guy who's successful and on his grind and a guy who is someone that you'd want to date, if you analyzed his life and you thought, where can I bring value to his life? Okay, he's really busy. He's a little bit messy. I'm going to come in and like clean up his room, do his laundry, all that sort of thing. Or maybe he's got like something that I can do with work. I can like help him with his emails or something like that. All of those little things are things that can easily set you apart from the rest. So if I was you or this hypothetical girl with a high body count, I would look at the guy and I would say, where can I bring value, to the point where a few months down the line, 3 months, 6 months down the line, he's looking at me as somebody who's like, irreplaceable. If I left his life, then it would be way harder.
Do you think that people should do, or women should do that, regardless of body count, prior to a marriage? Like, you think that they should present wife qualities when they're not getting husband qualities?
Absolutely. Yeah. How else are you going to sell yourself?
How else is a man going to sell himself?
Wait,
You know what I mean?
But like, so why would I marry you if you're not showing me wife qualities?
But by the same token, why would a woman show you wife qualities if they're not getting any?
So then we're just at a
reciprocation?
stalemate and it'll never happen. So if I have someone who's my girlfriend and she's saying, I'm not going to do your laundry, I'm not going to make your bed, I'm not going to cook you food because I don't have a ring on my finger, I'd be like, all right, then fuck off.
But wife
I was talking
qualities
about
are more
dating,
than
not a
cleaning
girlfriend.
and cooking. Like, just get a maid. Wife qualities are way more.
And
than cleaning
what's she
and
going to do? Just sit on her ass all day?
No, she's gonna support you emotionally. She's gonna
I don't
be there
need to
for
be
the
supported
kids.
emotionally. If you're a guy who's already like achieved certain things in life, you've probably been through some shit. Maybe you could use a cuddle on a Sunday morning.
Why
you're not
are you
gonna-
guys so into men? Are you gay? Like, you're like, men are the shit.
What do you mean? I'm confused. Where did
Because
that come from?
you keep saying like women are this and that and it's blah blah blah.
No, I think I'd actually
so
really-
just date each other and go have fun in the bathroom. Let us watch.
I think I actually pretty.
Go get pet.
I think I actually pretty clearly just sort of laid it out as to like the value that a woman can bring to a man's life.
just said
But it's
cooking and
just
cleaning.
a matter of attitude.
Cooking and cleaning. That's it. That's a wife.
What else did I say?
Bow,
duty.
What else did I say?
laundry.
No,
Great.
doing emails,
That's-
cooking, cleaning, making yourself like make his life
Making
easier.
food, of course. And your
Yeah.
life is what
Yeah.
shit.
Because-
you were
because-
born to be
Yeah.
a piece of shit.
He also said that he
I
doesn't
don't think that
expect
makes you a piece of shit if you're being.
Hold
Yeah,
on,
your
we got
dreams
a lot of
and your
people
hopes
talking.
are gone.
A lot of people talking. You wanted to ask a question?
Yeah. So I
I
already
need to respond too.
provide those things when I'm dating someone, and so like I obviously do have a promiscuous past, and I'm currently not dating because I want to become like a higher quality woman before I date, so that I can attract a more high quality man. So what would you recommend besides like the cooking, the cleaning, and
Well, I think that you have to just cater it to that person's individual needs. So you have to just be good at looking at the man and understanding a little bit about his life and then seeing where you can add value, particularly. Because he might be someone who's a clean freak and he does all of his cleaning. He might love cooking. He might be like Greek or something like that, loves cooking. And then you got to be like, all right, well, where else can I add value to his life? You know, can I help him with his organization? Can I do this and that? But it's about getting yourself to the point where months and months down the line, he looks at you as like inexpendable.
should I be waiting a while to sleep with someone?
It depends on his values.
Okay.
Yeah, because if he's a guy who's like a little bit more liberal about it, he's not going to mind. But a guy who's more conservative, how high is the body count? Like, what are we talking?
I don't feel comfortable sharing.
Didn't you share
but-
it last time?
Yeah.
No.
What she?
Oh, wait, no,
No,
she-
she did.
I
She did.
didn't.
Octavia, what is it? What did
I
she?
didn't. I
what was it?
refused.
No, I'm thinking of someone else.
It was double digit though, yeah.
Yeah, it was double digit.
Triple digit.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
double.
I think that if you can master other aspects, then guys will look past that.
Yeah. So
Majority of it was when I was like 17. I don't sleep around anymore.
I don't know if that's.
That's not.
Better.
Oh, it's horrible.
That's not
it's
the only
absolutely
value.
Worse,
horrible.
but-
It was before I got sober.
But so I mean, there's this video game term called min-maxing. You minimize negative characteristics and you maximize positive characteristics. So I mean, you can't really minimize it, but what you can do is you maximize all the other positive characteristics, I suppose, to kind of, I mean, this is just like general advice to anybody. You want to become the best person and best partner that you can. So if that means, getting into really good shape, it could come down to your behavior. It could come down to, other things that you're bringing to the table. So if you just become like this super pleasant, amazing woman, super submissive, acts of service, and maximize just how can I become more attractive, not just looks, but how can I become more attractive in other dimensions. Fifth dimension over here. Fifth Dimension Princess album out in 3 months. Right? 3 months? Yeah, something like that. Then you just got to maximize all those things. Are some guys still going to disqualify you no matter how amazing you are? Sure. But they might disqualify you for other things too. They might not, you might not be their type physically, whatever it is. So you just got to maximize it. And, yeah. So is there redemption? Is that
That's a good point that
Rachel, what's
makes.
up?
She says, a man you would want is the kind of man who wants you to demonstrate that you will be able to help meet rather than a giant pain in the ass.
Honestly,
cooperative, not combative. Exactly.
Rachel makes a huge point, and this is something we don't talk about. I mean, I mention it often in passing, but we don't ever do deep dives into it. Like, ladies, one of the biggest things that you can do to become more appealing to a guy, it's not like how the cool stories you can tell, your personality, or how attractive you are. If you're just like chill and pleasant to be around, because a lot of guys have experience dealing with and look, girls deal with some like fucking psycho dudes too, don't get me wrong, but like a guy who's dealt with like a girl who's a headache, like, man, the biggest thing you can be in a relationship is if you're just like calm, and when he's with you, it's peace. And look, sometimes you have disagreements, sometimes there's arguments. I mean, some people have a really hardline stance on like, submission and that sort of thing. But if you can be peace, that's like one of the biggest things you can bring we don't want to, like, guys don't want to deal with a quarrelsome woman. Like, if we're constantly, and look, to be fair, sometimes men bring that energy. Like, sometimes men are the ones looking for an argument. But a lot of dudes have an experience of dealing with a girl that it's just like a headache, and we don't want to deal with that. We want peace, we want calm, and if you can be our calm, a lot of dudes are going to overlook a lot of things.
Exactly. Especially if you're a really busy guy who's got a lot going on and your life's very stressful. If you can be like a sanctuary for him, and you can create a home that's a sanctuary, and then that's massive. But also sort of like it's, it might sound like a little bit infantilizing, but if you can look at him with like goo goo gaga sort of eyes, like I said before, always doing things to make him feel respected, make him feel strong, and just point out all of these little things. Most guys in the current dating market, with the way that most women are, will not know what has hit them if you actually treat a guy like that with genuine respect. And you look up to him and admire him.
Besides providing the money and all that stuff, what is he doing? Is he does he love me? Is he providing emotional, respect and emotional support and all that stuff? Or is he just
a man
gone?
has duties in a relationship. And the duty, in my opinion, is to provide, and also to be, you have to take a bullet if there's a home invasion, and to make her feel protected, to make her feel like her needs are met. Whether that be like financial needs or like the support of being a leader and all those sorts of things. And I think that's actually, it sounds like it's in a few sentences, but it's a very significant job, and it requires a lot of experience. And go on. Go ahead.
I think in the true sense of like a submissive dominant relationship between a husband and a wife, like if there's mutual respect, it's not about dominating the wife. Just because they are more leading and more guiding, that doesn't mean that they're shitting on you.
No, I understand that. But some men do that. Some men provide and then they treat you like a slave.
Too.
Also, with submission, like submission is not taken. Submission is given.
Right.
Yeah.
So, right.